Hello everybody, here again Alice Flores at the HOTDOCS, and today we're gonna interview American Commune directors Nadine and Rena Mundo. Hello everybody, we are here again with Rena and Nadine Mundo about the film American Commune. Thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
I watched your film. I found it very, very beautiful, interesting in many ways about how can we live life without anything on the outside. And my first question will be like, what was the feeling to come back to the farm after growing in this commune?
It was really kind of nostalgic and beautiful because even though we left the commune as kids, just coming back and being on the land and the smells, everything felt the same. You know, you have certain childhood memories and it kind of came flooding back. So it was really beautiful to go back for the first time.
And for you, how was it?
The same. I mean, it was, you know, we were at the time living in New York City, and so we were living very in this cosmopolitan, noisy, dirty, fast city, and then coming back to the commune, you know, it's quiet, it's pastoral, it's very green, it smells different, so it was beautiful, you know. I mean, you know, it was a mixed, there was a lot of mixed emotions going on, but it was good.
So, why is the title American Commune? When you come out to say, we want to do a film about how we grow.
Right.
Right?
We had...
Well,
go ahead. I mean, the farm was America's largest and longest lasting commune, and we've played with various titles over the years of making it, but we kind of settled on American Commune because it says it all in 2 words, and you don't really even need to describe anything. I mean, you do, you know, to see the film, but it kind of just piques people's interest, I think. And also we liked having American in there because we felt like we feel like our film really appeals to an international audience, and so having it with the title, knowing it's an American commune, we think just even
it is a very
helps
American
make it appeal more. Yeah, and it's American story, you know. It's not really a part of, I mean, hippies are sort of known to have like started in the United States, but it's an untold story. The farm, there was Birth Story, which was about Rena Gaskin, but our film is a much more inside, personal look at what it was like actually growing up there, and we delve deeper into the historical part of the farm. So it is an American story, and we felt like the title represented that.
And what is your experience growing in an American commune? Like lots of people, and back then they were calling them the hippies, right?
Yeah.
And nowadays, we do a lot of things like the American commune.
Right.
Like we buy organic food, we try to be friendly, we try to be open-minded, and have our we desire to have our children free. Like in this commune, no crime, no ugly things going on. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, a lot of, we go into this in the film where, you know, we lived in huge households, so, you know, tons of different families and kids, and all of the parents took care of the other kids, and so it was like living in a huge, you know, in a huge family rather than just the nuclear family. The whole community was our family, and there's something very beautiful about that, and we don't have that so much on the outside culture now. So, and I think that people are really like wanting that now. They're sort of looking and searching for a different model, which is interesting. It's kind of starting to come back around, some of those values, like you said. And I think we take it for granted that, you know, you can just go to Whole Foods and buy organic food, or you can soy milk. Decide that, you know, you want to go, you know, install solar panels in your house and live off the grid, and all those things that are very common these days. You know, back when they started the commune in the 70s, they weren't. And our parents and the other founders of the commune, they were really pioneers in starting I mean, they were incredibly courageous, and just they went off the grid, and, you know, they knew nothing about it and taught themselves. And so we really think that the film sort of pays homage to them.
And there is one thing that a lot of people sometimes ask about communes, right? Because there's a lot of, child abuse and stuff like that. And a commune like that, when those issues arose, did it happen? Did it always was a protection? People were very normal? Because, people, they chase hippies, they sleep with each other's wives, and the children sleep all together.
No, I mean, actually, the farm, the commune that the movie's about and that we're from is very strict and it was very much based on family, on the family unit, and so it wasn't like what you think of a commune, everybody free love and sleeping together. It wasn't that at all. People got married, they had kids, so even though we shared everything in the household and shared jobs and chores and our possessions, there was a family unit, and that was pretty valued.
Also, when I was watching your movie, there was this lady that you were interviewing about, she didn't want to say that she grew up in the commune.
Yeah, Genevieve.
Why?
Well, I think, everyone had a different experience, and her family, they did a lot of social experimentation, and one of the things in the early days, they had group marriages. Some couples got involved in group marriages, and her parents were in a group marriage, and so I think for a lot of kids it was confusing, and she came out of a group marriage, and it was a really confusing thing for her. Not for all kids. I think for the adults it was about trying to seek spiritual elevation, enlightenment, and they were not only trying to found their own society, but they were really trying to consciously elevate themselves spiritually, but it didn't always translate to the kids. Right. So I think we did not come out of a group marriage. We had much more of like a nuclear family structure, but it wasn't perfect, and we don't try to paint a rosy picture. We try to really tell, we didn't have a really traumatic experience, so we're not like, oh, it was rampant child abuse, and we just tried to tell a more nuanced story of the really amazing things about it, and then there were certainly negative things as well.
If you would like to tell the audience a beautiful experience from your childhood in the commune, what would be?
I think
because you grew up different than I grew up.
Yeah, I think one memory that I have, and it was kind of like a daily thing, but as a kid we sort of took it for granted, but we would walk to school through the woods to school, and we lived all surrounded by woods, and we had on the farm this incredibly intricate path system. So there were paths through all these woods, and our parents weren't afraid that we were going to get run over by a truck or kidnapped. And from a young age, 5 years old, I was walking to kindergarten with my best friend who lived next door, and we would cross the creeks, and we would hide little trinkets for the gnomes and fairies, and it really fostered our imagination, I think, as kids, and also gave us a reverence for nature. So that was a special.
Anyways, well, I really recommend this movie, Ammerican Commune. There's the directors, is amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope it gets back again, because it's been, get your tickets now for this one, because otherwise you will stay out in the rush line. Bye.
This was one of the houses that we lived in. Between like 5 and 8 families would live in one house. It's like everyone just left in the middle of dinner or something.
The prospect of 300 hippies descending on a small town might frighten many of the local residents.
The thing about revolution is change, not violence or hurting anybody. It's change. That's what it's about. And how about just up and changing?
We worked so hard. We were college kids. Nobody knew how to do anything. Who knew where water came from when they were growing up? I mean, we did every single thing from scratch.
One of the reasons that there's folks on the planet that's hungry is because we use our resources uneconomically. So we have learned how to make soy milk.
Childbirth is a spiritual event. If you're treated well, you're going to have a good flavor from that will last you a lifetime.
We were instilled with the idea that it was our responsibility to grow up and change the world.
We've got to do what we want to do. We don't have to work for the man. This is ours. This is home.
The state troopers began leaving around 12:17 this morning en route to the farm in Summertown, Tennessee.
This is a typical FBI file. You can go and find pictures taken by infiltrators.
What everybody was saying was there's not enough. There's not enough food, there's not enough diapers, there's not enough shoes.
I finally fed up with this. I can't take it no more. I'm out of here.
Moving off the farm and moving to LA was like moving from a different country.
It's the Barbie Cosmetics.
I was so embarrassed and desperate to fit in. I didn't tell anyone about the commune.
Okay, this is August to June.
I would say that 99.9% of the people that signed this vow of poverty really believed it was going to be lifetime.
What?
I think our family has just had so much turmoil. It's been a long time.